Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Inside Lowell Daily Pulse. I am your host, Teddy Panos, coming to you on this Thursday, February 27th, 2025. And this is a thrilling Thursday of the Inside Lowell Daily Pulse. But unlike the other thrilling Thursdays where I'm sitting here talking to an empty chair, I've actually got a body in the thrilling Thursday chair. And that body belongs to none other than my former radio morning show host, partner in crime.
That's correct.
The one, the only.
L.
Leslie Bodor, the L in the TLC morning show.
That was
Leslie,
correct.
so good to have you here. I'm excited.
My pleasure. My absolute pleasure.
It better be, because you're going to keep getting invited back. We brought you in. Originally, you were like a Big Fun Friday guest co-host, and then we couldn't contain you in just one day. So you, for what was it,
over 2 years,
2+ years, you became a Monday through Friday guest. I mean,
volunteer.
You got filthy rich doing that, like all of us at CAP did.
Yep.
But
AM radio, man.
I was so excited when you started coming back towards the end of my tenure, and I saw that you continued with Jerry Nutter, because really, like,
chemistry.
Friday was a fun day to listen to the radio.
Oh, good.
When you were on.
I'm glad. Thank you.
I'm glad to have you part of the Daily Pulse today, and I'm going to lock you in right now. You're going to say this on tape, so there's no backing out. You're going to come back and do this periodically, right?
That is correct.
All right, you're a statey.
I've taken my oath
lie.
to the Constitution.
I love it. I love it. Great to have you here. We got lots to talk about with Leslie. So much going on in the city. Plus, we want to catch up with her. And then I want to dive into her real passion this last year and a half. And that's the Karen Reed case. So we're going to have some fun with that. First, let me thank our Daily Pulse sponsors. Of course, it starts with Ray Booten, licensed realtor in Massachusetts and New Hampshire. He is a certified appraiser in both of those states as well. So if you're looking to buy or sell a home, a business, or a commercial property, Real Estate Ray Booten is your man. And it's easy enough to find him. realestaterayBooten.com is his web address. Thank you as well to our friends at WellPoint. We're here in the WellPoint studios. WellPoint, of course, is the only health plan offering healthcare benefits exclusively to Massachusetts GIC members. At WellPoint, your whole health is their whole point. I got to have dinner with their general manager, David Morales, last night. Always great to chat with him. I got so much free swag from him. Every time we meet, he brings me all this freebie stuff. He actually got me a phone, like a little stand for a phone.
Oh, nice.
A nice one with a WellPoint logo on it as well.
Well, I'm a WellPoint girl.
So I saw you pointing. You did the point when I read well. So you...
GIC state employee.
And even in retirement.
In retirement, I'm WellPoint. I'm looking forward to being with WellPoint, and my prescriptions are very exceptionally priced. Thank you.
You hear that, David? We got one of your customers.
You do. I'm very pleased.
Open enrollment, I think, starts April Fool's Day, right?
Yeah.
Which is a very significant day in your life.
I left my ex-husband on that day.
He thought it was an April Fool's joke.
He was wondering why he was, filling up a U-Haul. But I kept telling him, it's a joke. It's April Fool's Day. I called him when I got to the Cape.
That's why we get along. No matter what disaster has befallen your life, you always manage to find a way to laugh about it. So what have you been doing these days?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. You're no longer doing... You're no longer doing WCAP, AM Morning Radio?
Well, I love it, CAP for some reasons, and I dislike it a lot for others, but I love doing AM radio with you and Chris Poublon and Austin Fontanelle, Austin from Boston, everybody you can think of.
The glory days of that
Everybody and his mother came in and out of that room, and we had a ball.
Yeah, we had presidential candidates. We had
Teddy,
United States senators.
The only replay I ever watched of us, and it was years, was our interview with the President of the United States.
I still, to this day, I listen to it. I'm stunned at how not Donald Trump he was. He was serious. He was great.
Oh, and then he heard my name, and he went, "Oh, hello, Leslie." I said, we're like kids in a schoolyard. I was nervous. It was exciting.
It was a blast.
He's a presidential.
But you remember the funniest moment of that whole thing?
What?
We had known he was going to call in.
Yeah, so we
had warned everybody about him, and Poublon was ready. As soon as he calls, we're putting him right on. And he called in. He says, 980 WCAP. And he said to Poublon, "It's Donald." And Poublon said, "Donald who?"
Well, give it pool Donald Duck.
In true Chris Pouvlon fashion. So anyway, it was great.
Could have hung up on him though. At least he held him, put him on
That's
hold.
right. We had him on. But so you're still living in the downtown?
I'm right in County Square, living downtown. I walk here. It takes me 4 minutes.
Have they dimmed that street corner light that was so bright that it was keeping you awake by flashing in your window?
No, she put up
It's
shades. She's still here though, but that light was in her eyes.
So how you finding downtown since we last chatted? Is it you see any improvement, deterioration, treading water?
I'm pro current administration, so.
Oh, you're one of the pom-poms.
I am.
Okay.
I'm a Belvedere pom-pom for Centerville and Pawtuckaville.
That's rare.
Believe me, they let me know it. I'm like, oh my God, how did you get in with this group? I don't know.
I mean, listen, if it's a bad thing to like very competent management that's finally moved the city into the 21st century, I'm guilty as charged. I don't care.
That's my exact point. And I'm going to double down. I think that the city manager gets credit, but I also think the mayor, Danny Rourke, should be on part of this. We kind of, mayor of the month in this city, the way we work our politics. And I want these two to stay as a team as we go forward, regardless of who the mayor is. Is that too controversial? I don't know.
Well,
is that something we can do?
Controversial? I don't know. Does it make you a pom-pom girl?
I'd rather be a bonbon.
A bonbon.
I'd rather be the bonbon.
So have you seen improvements?
I have.
In the downtown?
What I would like to see is more beat guys. I would like to see beat guys downtown. We used to have it in older administrations. I've been here 12 years downtown. And I thought, I used to see them an awful lot when I got here, and now I see no beat guys. So I don't know if Lowell's under enforced, if there's enough in the population there to have beat guys, but I would like to see it return to that. I
feel like it comes and goes. You'll have like some kind of violent incident or a, brawl or whatever. And
then everybody goes.
And the beat cops show up. But right now, you're right. I can't remember the last time I've seen beat cops other than when the school lets out, and naturally they get the officers on the street trying to move everybody along.
That's correct.
Then
they do an excellent job there.
Yeah,
moving everybody out.
It's a thankless job. When we first started, remember the first time I brought you on the radio was in the aftermath.
You
of the
Larry James, dude.
I did. Your first day, I couldn't talk.
I'm like, hey.
We were supposed to talk about the Michael Brown situation. In Missouri, and you got some flack because as a former state trooper, now retired state trooper, you actually defended the officers' 100%. Actions in that. You questioned the narrative.
Well, there was no hands up, don't shoot. And that narrative became the outcry and the hands up, don't shoot. That was not an accurate statement. And this gentleman had strong-armed a convenience store owner, stolen things, pushed his way out, grabbed cigars and everything. And the police officer had every right to ask him a question. Instead, he tackled him into his cruiser, and there was a fight for the gun.
Stop speaking facts.
Make logic.
It was
but as a police officer, and not being this gentleman was the same size. This was a big cop. I'm 5'6", 5'5". I shrink as you age. 5'5".
I just get fatter every year.
Well, you're 5'6", you get to weigh more. My BMI.
Oh, that's right. It lowers your BMI as you get
me.
taller.
And you never know what you're gonna get.
Well, so has the situation of being a daily police officer? I feel like it's a far more challenging job now. I feel they're almost part mental health agents.
This is the problem.
The cell phone, yeah.
That's a problem.
Well, now you've got the body cams on the Lowell police officers as well.
If you remember to turn them on and off.
Correct. Correct. So is the job, it's still a desirable career?
Well, my job, I was a local too. My first job was dispatcher in Lowell. And when I was in college, I was the first female dispatcher. What were they thinking? Civilian. And that was because I knew Captain Flaherty. You got to know people in the city. But anyway, I was a dispatcher, and then I went to local policing on the Cape, and then went to the state. And I've never seen the state take so many punches lately in my life. We are the first state police organization in the country. There's only 50 of us. And it's been disappointing lately, especially with the Karen Reed trial that we were talking about. Trooper Proctor makes me want to cringe. I sat there like this watching it. Oh my God, I can't believe what I'm seeing here.
Is it like the shaved head, the bald head look, is that now part of the uniform of
Well, they used to do that to the women too. I had a crew cut.
Head?
Oh yeah, no shaved, but they gave you a boys regular.
Really?
Yeah, they don't do it anymore because I saw the last graduating class and the women had tied up tight ponytails. I had a boys regular.
You were one of the first female state
88.
troopers
I came on in 88.
in 1988, right? When it was still a relatively new thing.
Well,
right?
there was a height requirement. You had to be 5'10".
So how the hell did you get in?
Well, they couldn't. They think of other men that are of shorter stature. Excuse me. You being the Greek Adonis, you are different.
I am.
Everybody looks up to you and your family for a reason. But if you're Portuguese, or if you might be Asian, or if you're Italian, sometimes you don't make the 5'10" mark. They were trying to keep women out, but they were keeping men out that wanted the job. So they used to wear thick socks in their boots. I know a Portuguese guy who was 5'8". He wore really thick socks and stretched.
He just got in.
And he got in. But a woman had to sue and got rid of the height requirement. That's when we were allowed to flood in.
Yeah. Would you, if you were at that stage of your life again in 2025,
right now,
would you try to begin a career in law enforcement and in particular as a state police officer?
The state police is, in my opinion, the epitome. So yes, it's not easy. It's a 3-week academy. You live there, a 3-month academy, and you live there, and they take you down to zero and they try to build you up in their eyes. I think the training's changed since I've been there, because weakness was not allowed in any form when people are fallible, you know. So I would go back to the state police.
So you do it again all over.
The problem is, with my master's degree, they don't give you Quinn Bill anymore. So they don't pay you for your educational incentive. And we can thank one of the Democratic governors for that. What was his name? He lives out in the western part of the state now. I can't think of his name.
Deval Patrick?
Thank you. He took away the Quinn Bill.
Does he still live in the state?
I don't know. I know he had political aspirations.
He came from Chicago, didn't he, when he had to become governor?
Everybody comes out of Chicago. It's like politics here. You come out of Senegal.
All right. So based on your legal background,
yeah,
I want to ask this very important question, because there was a situation I saw this morning. I'm on Market Street, but I'm stopped on the second car from the light that crosses with Dutton.
Yep.
I'm next to the Hafner's parking lot.
Okay.
The light is green, but the car in front of me stops. It hears a siren. So I wait. 5 seconds later, here comes the ambulance from Dutton Street, coming from the Big Phil, as I call it. And traffic stops. The ambulance cuts over into the other travel lane because everybody has stopped, and then it takes a right onto Market Street.
Okay.
At which point, as I'm following the ambulance, I notice my green light has now turned yellow. And I am cursing said ambulance, but I am remembering there is probably some poor soul whose life depends on those important seconds that the ambulance is going to get to their house. And then a funny thing happens.
On the way to
the ambulance stops on just past the little canal bridge there on Market Street, because there is a yellow school bus in front of the Market Mills across the street from the Athenian Corner, and its lights are flashing and its stop signs are sticking out the side.
So now you have a conflict.
And the ambulance stopped a good 15, 20 yards behind that school bus.
Okay.
And it was about a 20, 25 second delay there for that ambulance before the school bus started moving.
Okay.
At which point the ambulance starts moving and blares the siren again, and eventually passes the bus before they both disappear out of my view. An ambulance has to stop at a school bus too? A police car?
Well, I think I would certainly slow down and make sure I get the bus driver's attention. Keep your kids. Hello, I have a microphone. I have a code red here. You know what I mean? So, could you keep the kids in the bus till I get by?
Legally, who takes precedent?
I would say, and that's
precedence, I should say.
Well, I would say the school bus, because children can't decide.
Okay, right.
They could run out and go right over.
Right, they could do something silly.
They play video games. Sirens are usual.
Yeah.
But what's interesting about the sirens in this city, they're not consistent. I hear the French siren, woo, woo, woo. Then I hear, wah, 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 wah. Then I hear the air one. And I live at Prescott.
The fire truck one.
And Merrimack.
Yeah, it's the...
And Gore, Bridge, and East Merrimack. And I hear it all day. So when someone is frustrated on Prescott Street, you know it. And it doesn't come off. And people are on sidewalks. People are trying, they can't get into County Square, but they're coming up Prescott anyway. Oh my God, it's unbelievable. But I'm used to sirens.
So you believe a school bus has...
I think because the children don't have a say. I don't know who's driving that bus.
So,
You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know
if
who's
they're
driving
paying
that bus.
attention, right.
Did they open the door and let the kids out? Because that's just what they do, muscle memory.
So at that time of the morning, it was like 7:45. I just dropped my kids off at school. I'm assuming the bus was picking up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't have kids, so this is your problem.
But it's an interesting. You get to sleep in now.
I date one, but I don't have any.
But actually, you had texted me by the time I got situated and was online. So, but I found that really interesting. And even an ambulance, which I assume also means a police cruiser and maybe even a fire truck,
I would
have to stop for the school bus.
I would.
You would. Okay.
I would. You have to stop. Lights and siren at a red light.
Just
this is
to
a
make
red
sure,
flashing
right,
light.
yeah.
No, you do. You come flying.
Oh, okay. Oh,
you do.
Even an emergency response vehicle
if it's red,
on a call.
Look, off you go.
Okay.
Back in the day, you didn't.
Yeah, you just flew through. And
well, yeah, you expected people to.
People.
Well, you expected people to at least have a modicum of respect for the sound in the blue.
Yeah, no, that's.
Yeah, hello.
Not anymore.
Yeah, that's why I hear the air horn on Prescott Street nonstop. And then the whoop, 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 whoop. So anyway, I just suggest one solid siren as a policy. Because people don't know. And the music's so loud in the cars coming over Bridge Street and down East Merrimack that they can't hear. Whoop, whoop, whoop. You know, they can't hear anything.
Have you approached the city council about a motion
I thought
to standardize the sirens throughout the city?
Because I'm like a nonna looking out the window all the time. Who's making noise? Who's making noise? And what's happening is the car noises are so loud. The boom, 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 boom. I have to turn my TV off in County Square if they get caught at the light. Can't hear a thing.
So you just put it.
I just got so,
and it knocks the expensive vase off your off your mantle,
yes,
right?
my vase. Yes, my urns. Of all the people I know, they just everybody's dusted. Okay, we're good. So yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for shedding a little bit of light on that because I found it amusing, and I'm thinking that poor. I hope it wasn't a real emergency.
No, I think stopping
that the ambulance was going to, because those 20 seconds might be the difference between life and death.
It is. It could be. But sometimes they run the siren when it's a patient and they see the traffic, and it's not necessarily a code. So the siren is something that's not really taught to people.
Is that an abuse of the siren?
It could be.
If it's not an emergency, you shouldn't put the siren on, right?
When I was training guys, an FTO or coach, they call this on the state. When I was training people, I'd say the siren scares people. Mm-hmm. If you're on a call and you're flying down the highway, you don't want to lights and siren all of a sudden because the guy in front of you in the high-speed lane's going to go left. Boom, 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 boom. And I can't stop to help you, sir. I'm sorry you went into the median strip. So what I always did was hit my high beams. What does that tell you as a universal driver?
Get out of the way.
Exactly. If you don't and you kick it up, I'll hit you with my takedowns. They're bright. I see you look up, and now we're looking at each other because I can see you. And then I hit just a boop with a blue. Because they'll come to a stop or go left or just go right into someone else. So you have to be really thoughtful and careful about how you do it. Sirens around this city just rip. I love it. But at the same time.
But you know what's funny, though? So you say you hear them, they wake you up, they keep you up.
Yeah, but it's family. I understand
I got used to it. When I lived on Dutton Street for those couple of years, it was annoying at first. I mean, I grew up in freaking Drayton on a dead-end street. When I moved back to Lowell, quiet neighborhoods, quiet streets, you were way off everything. The downtown, it took me a few months, but I started sleeping through the alarms, started sleeping through it to the point where we had a tornado warning that I slept through. Riley and I woke up and I saw the alerts on my phone. I'm like, oops.
Yeah, no, I slept through the fire alarm in my building. And I have friends in that building that know I'm home. She didn't see me on the sidewalk. No one thought, hey, maybe she has a noise machine in the back because I worked midnights for so many years. Lawnmowers would wake me up. So I have a wave machine, and it's loud. And it circumvents, get out, there's a fire. So I'm always dressed and prepared in case a fireman comes to my door.
You sleep in your sneakers.
Well, no, I'd surprise him. I enjoy the Sparkies. Yeah. I love a good fireman.
Of course. Doesn't every woman? Or guy. It's 20, 25.
I don't know.
Anything goes.
I don't think so.
Anything goes.
Things are illegal now.
Well.
You can't be trans in the military anymore. They're gone.
They're completely gone?
As of this morning.
Oh, really?
And there's a lot. Did you know there's like a lot of them? A lot of trans people.
No kidding.
Yeah. But
they sign up to get their sex change operations?
Well, I think that a lot of them have. Sorry, folks, but I'm like, if
Are they
I
going
had
to have to go back to committing crimes in
well,
Massachusetts?
no, then
and
you
New
get your
York?
education and you get your change, and it just doesn't make any sense. Federal money or any money goes to someone in prison or in any military branch that the government or the taxpayers pay for a sex change. I'm sorry. It's very strange.
Stop agreeing with me.
Yeah, I know. Well, we agree on a lot. People think I'm a lefty. I don't know, my nickname's
Lefty
Lefty.
Boater. Gilly Mulvaney.
Gilly
Called you Lefty Boater.
Lefty. I embrace lefty, but I'm more conservative than most.
As a former
Well, I've
student,
been punched and kicked, and that's just family.
Leslie Bodor is here in the WellPoint studios for today's Daily Pulse, Thursday, February 27th, 2025. A thrilling Thursday, but for once, my thrilling Thursday doesn't involve me talking to an empty chair. I'm talking to Leslie. Going to continue the conversation. A lot happening out there, and yes, I promise we'll get to the Karen Reed case. First, let me quickly thank our InsideLowell Daily Pulse sponsors, Real Estate Ray Booten, licensed realtor, certified appraiser in Mass and New Hampshire. Find them online, realestaterayBooten.com. Thank you as well to our friends at WellPoint. At WellPoint, your whole health is their whole point. Washington Savings Bank, banking that feels like home. Make the switch now to Washington Savings Bank. TMI Properties, quality and value at every price point. Find your perfect space with TMI. Mahoney Oil, providing warmth and protection to Greater Lowell and Southern New Hampshire since 1925. Do the math. It's 2025. That's a century, gang. Greater Lowell Community Foundation, improving the quality of life in Greater Lowell through impactful strategic philanthropy. Francis E. Preventure Insurance, Leslie's favorite sponsor from the radio days, is here with us as well. You can find them online at FEPINS.com. Why did that website always make you laugh?
Because you said it was always my favorite.
It was. You love that website.
Pronunciation.
FEPINS.com.
He's excellent, by the way. Wonderful man.
Fantastic.
Really is a good
He's
guy.
made my life so much easier.
Yeah, he had a
my
question for
father,
the-
my sister. He's
Yeah.
bailed my sister out of so many messes.
Oh, in Andover?
Yeah.
What, did the help complain?
No, apparently in Andover, if somebody hits you, you just take the fault.
Well, did she
in the police
cover her
report.
plate when she left? Oh, I'm sorry. What kind of hit were you talking about?
Somebody hit her, and she decided.
Oh, hit her in the car?
Yeah, she was in the right, but she didn't bother telling the police officer that on the scene. So once the insurance company showed her bill, suddenly she got her courage, and Frank bailed her out, of course. That's why you need a local agent. I can promise you the lizard isn't going to do that at Geico, nor is the Limu Emu. Anyway, FEPINS.com is the web address. And last but certainly not least, the Massachusetts Pirates, who are bringing all the hard-hitting action and excitement of arena football to downtown Lowell. Season opener, March 21st. And did you see the big news yesterday? They signed a local kid. From Chelmsford.
I did.
Sal Lopoli son. Sal
yes.
Lopoli Jr. is going to be suiting up for the Massachusetts Pirates.
Well, at least one of them's doing something.
He'll be the only active Lopoli in downtown.
Well, I don't know. That Innovation District's fabulous.
How did I miss that joke? Darn it, you. I can't believe I let you get that one.
Well, who used to call every day about Zalapoli? Who was it from the union?
Oh, Jeff Thomas, Tommy Erickson, the union say.
Tommy Erickson every morning.
Yeah.
Hey, it'd be a shot. I go, Tommy, don't do it today. He just couldn't help it.
The unions love Lopoli.
Yes.
Hey, speaking of the Lopoli thing, it was an executive session the other night, but it was an interesting city council meeting. We turned back the clock and actually brought up the discussion of backyard chickens. Again, you're a big fan of the backyard chicken.
I am, because eggs are going through the roof.
Do you have
my egg prices? They were coming down.
Do you have an illegal coop in your in your condo? Have you put some cages around your cabinets?
Coop. I'm thinking coop.
Oh, a
not
coop,
coop.
a coup d'etat as opposed to an illegal chicken coop.
Garage, more like it.
Did you? The other thing I found out that shocked me, we're working on a tree committee.
Well,
do you need a committee for trees?
Well, apparently we need to consult
an arborist.
Arborist. I was going to say herborist.
Arborist, arsonist. What do we?
And then I thought, well, we shot down plastic straws, so I wonder why we need a tree guy. But when you think about it, the trees in the city, and he calls them deserts. There are places of the city there are no trees. I can tell you why there aren't any trees.
Heat
though.
Islands or whatever.
Heat Islands, yeah, because everybody parks their car on the grass. You can't plant a tree when your Toyota and your Lexus and your BMW are all next to each other in,
It is amazing.
a double wide.
It is amazing how many expensive German cars end up in the poorer neighborhoods.
Well,
Isn't that stunning?
I cut around here at the back by the Greek church, and I go over, to the Demoulas, and I keep an eye out on the Lexuses outside the housing.
Maybe a cheaper car payment. You might save up enough money to buy a house. I don't know. I was brought up in a different environment.
We're not too far apart.
But crazy stuff. Yeah, but I guess we have a tree committee. Apparently, there's a battle over whether we should have a full-time arborist in the DPW.
This is
or
my
we
suggestion
should
for that.
Hire one for the 3 times we've used them. Should we use them more often?
Well, as long as that person's not on a retainer to get 3 calls in 3 years. I'm not paying somebody to
I think
be
it was
available.
$5,300
Okay.
for 3 incidents.
What I would
Do
do.
we need to jack that up to a $60,000 to $80,000 a year position?
No,
with full
absolutely.
bennies
No,
in
no, no, no,
retirement
no, no, no,
over
no.
trees?
No. No. But, I had a point.
Yeah, but your hat covers it.
Yeah, I didn't want to disappoint you. Do you know there is a monsoon
Is that the
now?
same Fenway hat?
Yes, it is. The other one literally turned to dust.
Looks as good as new. Look at that close up. Look how new that is. It's so the blue and brown combination I love on the hat color. By the way,
Brown wasn't intended.
Oh, that's supposed to be white. I'm sorry, I thought it was brown.
It's called Hansel Carefully Loved Hat.
But 2+ years of this every single morning
I have
for
a gift
5 days a week.
I have a gift for you.
Do you?
I do. I wanted to congratulate you for everything that you've done. Seriously, I'm very impressed.
What, annoying people?
Yeah. Well, why do we get along so well? You annoy me. So I thought of your kids,
Ah,
and I know
the
they'll
Greek
never get
prince
it.
and princess.
But I did get you a little something.
What should I open it for? Should the
I would love
audience
you.
see
I'd
it,
love
or-
you to open it.
All right, let's.
A little something for Easter.
Nice wrapping job.
Thank you. But I thought Easter's around the corner.
Oh.
What better than
The inside look. All right. Let me switch to the right. You are. Did you have gotten a bigger size?
Well,
Is
you
this
know-
a shirt for me or a dress for my wife? What the bleep? Riley, Leslie bought you a dress. Look. You got, you got my image in the back. Holy shit.
Okay, I don't think the Chinese have a good concept of an extra large American, so that's where that
I
came
mean, I
from.
am a 2XL,
But I thought of it too. I thought that too. But
Riley, literally, she can wear this to the Lowell General Hospital.
I didn't imply to get Riley a moo. I swear to God, I didn't. But
This is spectacular. This is a gift for me or for my kids?
well, it's for Easter. We have to do a little background for this. I was on AM radio one day, and they were talking about this podcast that I happened to catch with the Stud Brothers. Excuse me,
the Stutz Brothers.
Stutz Brothers.
The Stud Brothers. Anything but the stud.
Oh, I love the Stud Brothers. So, having said that, the 3 of you were here, and there was a screenshot of you on the.
Oh, they went, yeah.
And you go, why do I look like a rabbit in that? Thank God no one saw it. And I'm at home going, oh, thank God no one saw it.
You screenshot it. I remember that all
So
too well.
it's Easter. You look like a bunny.
I got those buck teeth.
You don't have any.
all those dentures. Well, thank you. That's very kind.
It could be a blanket. Your children are adorable.
That's going to be my Hawaiian shirt. I'm going to wear that to a
Ruby,
luau.
by the way. No,
Oh,
no,
my
no.
God. Yeah, she'll kill me.
She looks like you.
It's
hard.
If I show you a photo of Riley at that
Well, as
age,
a baby, I agree.
she looks
Right
just
now?
like Riley, but she's got, I mean, just because I have pudgy cheeks and dimples, everybody thinks she
No,
looks like me.
she's
but
adorable,
she's,
both, and Ari-
she will kill me. I
Irresistible?
will not be able to survive a teenage daughter. I know this for a fact. I can barely survive a 5-year-old daughter, let alone a teenage daughter. Ari will be okay. I think I can manage Ari. Ruby, no, the death of me.
That's wonderful.
The death of me.
That's what my father said about me. But I wasn't planned. Do you know what that man said to me? He said to me, "Your living rhythm proves the rhythm method doesn't work." And I went, "You're welcome, bundle of joy." And then he said, "You remember your SATs?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Do you know people get more points for signing their name than you got on your SAT?"
Was he being truthful?
Look
Or?
at me. My father is a mathematician, a physicist,
Yeah.
complex variables, everything at the university, professor emeritus, everything at the university, tech, low tech, everything. And he's sitting there going, and I'm counting with my fingers, you know, just the poor guy. Save yourself, Dad. Save yourself. So, yeah, I didn't get my father's math skills, but he loved me anyway. Flaws.
Of course, how could he not?
Yeah.
Everybody loves Leslie.
Yeah.
You were the most the only popular part of the TLC crew.
No, sir.
Everybody loved you.
Oh, please.
The righties didn't like you, but they still. They didn't like your politics, but they still liked you.
I had the lovely meeting with a woman at a funeral. And we're at the Immaculate Conception. I'm in the crowd, and she says, "I hate your politics, but I think you're funny." And I went,
That's the appropriate place for that.
"Well, I'm like, I'm in a state of mourning here. Could you please just give me a moment?
I hate your politics.
But I think you're funny." I'm like, okay. Well, it's lovely meeting you. I think. Can I get back to the communion here? There's a casket with a flag on it. Yeah, I'm here for something else. But people do approach me.
Well,
It's fun.
so one of the things that I learned very early when I was doing TV was that you are the people at home. They're inviting you into their living room.
You've told
Or
me
on the
that.
radio, they're inviting you into wherever they're in the kitchen, maybe while they're doing something.
taught me that.
In the car, you're their passenger in the car. So you got to remember, and they kind of depend on you. They feel like they get to know you. And when I left the radio station, there were so many phenomenal messages that came in. You know,
Sure.
one lady said to me, you helped a grieving widow get through a very tough period in her life. Another lady said to me, I got married, had to move to Lowell because my husband worked here, and this is how I found out about the community. And again, people completely opposite from me politically, but that was the whole point. That's why it bugs me so much what has happened at that place since I left, and it really accelerated after Jerry left. It's like, I literally, the other night, I want a screenshot, I actually had to do a Google search just to see, how long to die on the AM radio airwaves. Because I don't know how it's still hanging on.
That's hypothermia too, isn't it?
I don't know.
How long to die in the snow?
I feel like that morning show body has been dead for a while,
Wow.
or it's dying. So I had the Google search, how long to die in the AM radio. But you know what the funniest part? Look what showed up in the Don Imus. The first thing that showed up was, did you really mean how long? And then I said, no, look up these searches. So Don Imus popped up.
Oh my God.
There's a guy who was dead on the morning airwaves.
Well,
for the
you can't
longest
call
time.
people nappies, something, anything. You can't really do anything. You can't. And it was inappropriate.
He was washed up 10 years before
He was
that. Are
horrible.
you
He started
kidding
wearing
me?
cowboy hats, talking in an accent, selling stuff. I was
He
turned
became
off
a
by him.
caricature.
He did. A fool, really, toward the end.
Yeah. So that's why everybody was listening to us.
Yeah.
TLC, in the morning. That's why they told Donald Trump, then candidate Trump, that's the one morning show you have to call into. And he literally said it on the air.
The glee you had when people called you and said, "Can we have your connection?" I don't know. You haven't shared yours with me. Why would I share my connection with you?
Exactly.
But sure, here it is. You do what you can with it. But we got it first.
We did. We had him on in December of 2015.
It was wonderful.
So from Hoslong to die on the AM radio airwaves to Hoslong to die in the cold.
Yeah.
You and I, you said the great thing about us, we know, we can
We take up
reach
to
the
a fork in the road.
but we'll meet on the backside.
We'll take it.
All right. We come to a fork in the road on Karen Reed.
Yeah.
I say she was framed. You say she sure as F hit that man
I think
and left the scene.
I don't think, and I mean this with all sincerity, that she knows she did. So she is coming from a factual base in her mind. I really think she does not think she hit him. But I think she did. I think she hit him. Do I like the family that cleaned up the rugs, got rid of the dog, moved the house, did everything like that? Yeah, I hate them. But I also think there was a lot of drinking that night. And
Yes, there was.
she was drinking Tito's. It's a clear drink. It could look like soda, but she was drinking Tito's. And she had, what did they say, 12, 13 of them? I don't want to get that wrong.
Yeah, that I don't
They
know
did like a
about
count,
that.
but from bar to bar, yeah.
It's safe to say she had some level of impairment.
Agreed. Well, she was an 05 that morning, I think.
So,
in an 05, an 08 is presumed alcohol, under the influence. An 08 is just a presumption. I like 10 and up, but she was an 05 at what, 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning.
she weighs 30 pounds.
She weighs 30
soaking wet.
pounds. Yep, she does.
So-
I really think that she did not. That SUV is twice her size. She has to climb into it. It's a Lexus. It's big. And he was hit high, and he broke his glass. Remember, he came out of the glass pub with a roadie.
Yep,
His glass was broken in his hand. I think he.
supposedly.
I don't understand the glass breaking any other way.
But somebody can, if somebody is trying to plant a body, trying to frame somebody,
I think you give what Canton PD #1 way too much credit.
So okay, so that's a legitimate point. How could they be so corrupt and yet incompetent at the same time? They would eventually trip themselves up.
I think there was an old school club to take care of each other.
Yes.
I don't think
And they did.
Unfortunately, that's an old school brotherhood thing. If, in my opinion, if I get to a scene and you're compromising my career, I'm not siding with you.
Okay.
I'm taking care of myself.
So that's what I want to say. Whether she hit him or not, let's put that aside for a minute, because I don't think the evidence showed it.
In the snow.
But there's a dead police officer on the front lawn. Officers start arriving to the scene now. Canton, okay. Do you not go into the house?
Well,
at some point, do you not interview everybody in that house within the first 12 hours, 24 hours, or whatever?
First thing I'm doing is, guess who never came out? They never came out.
Correct.
They never came out. This is their friend. But it doesn't mean they murdered him.
Right. But it points to a shoddy investigation, which... And again, the disappearing camera footage, the reversed camera footage.
That didn't, but the reverse camera angle didn't glean any new information. It just made it look shady.
So why reverse it?
I don't think they even realized it was reversed. I really don't. I think it was just incompetence. Oh, Jesus, backwards. Let's just turn it this way. It's got the same taillight brake either way you look at it. What you're suggesting is we broke it more. And then dumped pieces out into the snow.
Correct.
I just, my years in law enforcement, I can't believe you'd have that many co-conspirators. I would be one that would go, whoa. Absolutely.
But you're not fond of Proctor, who was the lead investigator, right?
I think not only should he have been court-martialed, but fired, and he was. It was held in-house. But what's happened now, not one officer is being charged criminally with anything.
By the feds, right.
Because she cannot run the what if case anymore, because there's no legal ramification for anybody in it. So she can't say, I think this guy did it.
Right, but they could still use a lot of the same defense.
You could use
the walking,
the reasonable doubt, the reasonable doubt.
Step, right? His phone showing him going up and down steps after the time that she
elevation
hit him.
isn't shown. Location is shown on a map quest or whatever.
But there was like a stair tracker type thing that was part of the evidence.
Wasn't that the
certain number of steps?
I'm really surprised
whatever.
at that. Yeah, I didn't know. Was it one of these?
It could. I won't join the cult, so I don't have.
I don't have it either.
Well, it wouldn't count many steps during the day anyway.
Well, you'd hear me. I'm at the top.
Sound like me during the Dominic Way thing at
Central
City
Street.
Hall, having to walk up the stairs. Jesus.
Well, I waited at that elevator this morning, and it was not working.
The elevator's not working. I forgot to text you. Oops, sorry.
Yeah, I wasn't up in it for flights. I'm like, okay. I waited. A gentleman helped me that works in this building.
Oh,
he freed up the elevator, brought it down.
Oh, okay.
Very nice.
So it was working.
It is working.
Oh, so it must have been the cleaning crew sometimes.
Somebody blocked the door.
Yeah.
That's correct.
All right.
So it's just a flaw.
And then they forget to.
I waited. I would have humped the stairs if I had to. I didn't want to.
All right. So the step thing, the missing tapes that would have shown for sure what time her car got in and out of certain places. Again, if she really did do it, then the family of John O'Keefe should be pissed as hell at Proctor and everybody else who investigated that, because I think there is no way on God's green earth she's going to get convicted of murder. Maybe
It never should have been
leaving
murder.
the scene of an accident.
Shouldn't have been murder.
maybe. Even that might be questionable, though.
If it's anything, it's involuntary manslaughter.
All because of an incompetent investigation by the Canton police and then eventually the Stadies coming in.
Well, the Stadies come in because when there's a body, the state police works for the district attorney's office, and they have to come in because
Right,
they're body people.
because that's what happens in Lowell. As soon as you determine it's a death, the DA comes in and investigates, and
With the
Lowell
state
police
police.
says, we can no longer talk, you got to go through Marion Ryan's office.
And the Marion Ryan goes through the state police because that's her agency.
Yeah.
We come in. I worked for the district attorney in Bristol County in a drug task force for a while.
Okay. And Canton's version of Marion Ryan is Michael Morrissey, aka Meatball Morrissey. That's how he calls him. Again, not
Nothing wrong with
exactly
a
the
good
guy
meatball.
covering himself in glory. Phones that were taken to military base dumps.
Well, that was your ATF agent,
Exactly.
your federal government. He
Right,
cleared his phone and threw it. But there could have been Proctor-like comments on that about her physicality and what she looked like, and
Her condition.
her accent, and which I happen to have.
She had some kind of a condition that made her prone to incontinence. from
Yes,
whatever.
yes, and
And they
that-
were making fun of that.
yeah, which is hilarious.
Searching for naked pictures of her.
Yeah, and she's hot, but she's got a bad accent. You know, that I know what goes on. I know what goes on. I was the only female in D Troop. That's 5 barracks
You dealt with that.
for years. I walked in to all the guys watching something very inappropriate on the cameras that are supposed to be watching the cell block. Well, they had a homemade tape. And I walked in and went, off with your heads. Everybody get that off, because that's not happening while I'm.
No
working
wonder
the
they didn't
shift.
like you.
No, they love me though, because I wrote all their reports. Because I write like an attorney writes. I don't write a lot of my narrative. So when it gets to court, you're like 5 sentences on why I arrested that guy. Can't really get a case out of that. You have to get me on the stand. And then I love to spy, as you know.
Of course.
Yeah, because when you write and you're telling the truth, it stays consistent.
So you think the retrial, there's going to be some kind of a conviction on some charge or another?
Well, they can't go with murder. She didn't intend to murder anybody. If you go with the family, that's intentional murder. If you go to a gang, the kid's off the hook. I've seen him fight with the turtle.
The dog is missing.
The dog is missing.
There's
These
more
marks on his
circumstantial
arms.
evidence there than OJ.
Well,
And OJ is walking free, okay?
the glove didn't fit because it shrunk. It was wet. Come on, people.
The glove and Mark Furman's book narrative there,
Yes.
using the N-word, was enough to have OJ walk.
That's correct.
There's so much more here that is enough to make Karen Reed walk.
Well, I think Karen Reed believes in her soul she did not hit him. I think inadvertently she backed into him and knocked him into the snowbank. I really do. I think she did, but I think she does not know she did. And in her heart, she didn't do it. And I really believe she's putting her parents through it. You see them aging. You see the police officer, help me.
Oh, John O'Keefe.
John O'Keefe, his family suffering.
But they're like in bed with the Alva. They're completely sided with the people who screwed up the investigation to a level where if they really believe that she killed their son and she walks free, it's because of that shoddy investigation. And yet you see them walking in and out of court with these people. Like, be mad at Karen Reed. You think she did it? I can get that. Why are you embracing these folks who put your son's justice in jeopardy?
I think it's history and habit. A lot of juries think if we put that guy in that seat, they're guilty. And that's not always the case. You have district attorneys in the Commonwealth that try to make a name for themselves. And they overcharge. Now look at the intent. Did she have any intent to kill him? In any scenario. She's either involved in one aspect or the family's involved. Did she have anything to do if the family did it? She didn't have anything to do with that.
Not family.
And she believes she didn't back into him. So she really believes she is innocent. I think from the evidence in doing reconstruction accidents and seeing, I didn't do reconstruction on fatalities, but I booked a lot of accidents. From pedestrians, bones sticking out to everything you can imagine. I even hit one. You know my story. I hit a pedestrian. Bubbles bounce.
I remember the story very well.
Well, I remember saying, oh, Jesus, this guy got hit the other day. And I looked at you and I go, I hit one. I did. I thought it was going to ruin my career. But
How you lasted as long as you did, I'll
that's
never know.
amazing. It's
All
amazing.
right, so the trial's supposed to start April 1st, April Fool's Day. The day you served your ex-husband with
No,
divorce?
he didn't get papers. He just got a U-Haul.
You got a U-Haul truck.
Yeah.
So I figured out technology. I might be able to even do live video. So what we should do maybe is because I watched the Johnny Depp Amber Heard
Oh, I did too.
thing on Netflix, and I couldn't believe how big of a social media phenomenon it was. People were making money and reputations off of covering that trial. Maybe we should do you and Booten and doing the Karen Reed trial here, like other people are doing.
Well, Ray does listen to me intently. He tries to understand my side of it.
Ray's completely opposite from you. She is innocent.
Yes.
And I tend to think that as well.
And I don't.
Okay.
And I don't like the cheerleading squad. I don't like that.
Yeah,
that's jury
the free
enforcing.
Karen Reed stuff outside,
that's
the
jury
signs and
enforcing.
whatever. There's a dead man here.
Can we
have some
venue?
respect for that?
Should we have a change of venue?
Maybe.
Because this jury pool
Maybe.
here is tainted.
You know what? You're right. Maybe. That's why wouldn't that even be considered? I have never once heard that mentioned.
Yeah, and what about the judge? Should there be a recusal for her because they don't like what she's been doing?
Bev. Auntie Bev, as they call her. Judge Bev.
Is it Auntie Bev?
Yeah, that's what
With
Turtle
the
Boy
fringe on
calls
top?
her.
I mean, she's just sitting there.
Judge Bev.
Yeah, but then they brought in evidence. They said they never spoke to people, and they had spoken to people. So there was a whole hearing that day. She said there were grievous flaws here, and I didn't see the grievous flaws.
All right.
I think it should go forward.
All right. We're going to follow this.
Yeah,
And you're
I
going to
think it
come
should
back
go forward.
regularly.
I'd love to.
It's on tape. You already said it. You put your hand up, too. You took the oath of
did.
office.
I did.
Does it count? If you put your right hand up and do your finger cross, does that count as an oath?
Well, you can live long and prosper, too.
Is that why they make you put your hand up and then put the other hand on the Bible so they can see both hands?
Did
and
you
you're not
see
doing finger cross?
the current president? Did you see the Bible?
No, I didn't.
When he took his, you know where his arm was?
Oh, by the side?
He didn't touch the Bible.
Well, his hand might burn if he puts it on the Bible.
Well, he is the Bible now. Isn't he Mr. Biblical himself?
He's what did Santino used to call him? Lord Emperor Trump. Or whatever.
Santino.
That's another guy I should drag in
Love
here one
Santino.
day to have some fun.
No.
Want to read some feedback that we've gotten from a prior show, and I've got a whole bunch of others that we'll do tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And Michaela Hondas McCarthy, the hyphen, joins us here for a Friday edition of the Daily Pulse. But Bonnie in Lowell says, I really love the show over at Inside Lowell. I'm a homeschooling mom here in the Mill City. I like when they use Mill City.
I love
They
Mill
know the
City.
lingo. I'm a homeschooling mom here in the Mill City, and in between teaching algebra and critiquing essays, I listen to your podcast. It's really helped educate and inform me on the goings-on here in Lowell, in the country, and the world. I'm really loving the daily podcast, especially Trigger 'em Tuesday.
I think I might fit in there.
Well, thank you, Bonnie. That's the intention, to give you a point of view that you're not necessarily going to hear on mainstream media, especially here in the city of Lowell. I mean, the sun has gone completely woke. Apparently, homeless people buy a lot of newspapers.
Well, they use them.
They're siding with the homeless
They're not reading them.
over the 120,000 citizens who just want to not step on a needle.
Do you know how they're using them?
Yeah, they provide warmth, don't they?
That other thing.
They also wipe your butt. But I do, one last
I had to hear you say it. Good.
one last thing on this Thursday with Leslie Bodor. Are you going to participate in tomorrow's economic blackout?
Oh, and could you fill me in?
Well, a lot of locals are sharing this, but I believe they're trying to start a grassroots national movement to boycott companies that have abandoned their DEI staff.
I don't believe in boycotts.
And principles. So,
No.
and the thing going around the city of Lowell
What
on
is it?
social media, hold on,
Awesome.
a number of well-intentioned people
Oh, that's
are
nice.
doing this, but it's called Want to Do Something? Participate in the Economic Blackout, Friday, February 28th, for 24 hours from 12:01 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. Spend no money at Walmart, Target, Amazon, and any chains. No gas, no fast food. Well, you better go to Mahoney Oil and fill up today instead of fill her up Friday. No online shopping. Buy local and small. Show them our power. And it's got the solidarity fist. I don't know if you can see that. Here.
Yeah, you can see it.
You're gonna have our
This thing?
the Marxist fist.
Yeah, guess
the
who gives that
solidarity
all the
fist.
time?
Yeah, all the commies. Yeah.
No, the president does this all the time.
Well,
You ever see him dance?
is that when he's dancing? Yeah, don't mock the YMCA dance. I'm glad that song is now cool again. But
Well, isn't he trying to get gays out of the country?
So
wait a minute. That song represents the gay community. There's an assault on it.
the gays may like him if the village people like him. The country's Hispanic population has woken up to how they were used for decades. So it's about time that.
Well, I think the red states didn't realize we meant them too. It just didn't, like when the policies are hitting right now and Doge is coming and Elon, South African apartheid Musk is running everything with his hats and his stupidity. I can't stand him. But anyway, having said that, I don't understand Elon at all. But I think that the country needs a shot. I mean, it's been 5 weeks.
Have you seen the polling?
It's bad.
He's getting more popular by the day.
Oh, that's the wrong poll.
The
Which poll are you getting?
I'll show you the Harris-Harvard poll. I'll give you the link to it.
I'll take that.
It'll make you lose your mind.
I'll take that poll.
Yep.
Yeah.
All of his policies wildly popular.
Yes.
He himself very popular. Democratic approval ratings. It's an extensive, like it's a 55 slide poll that they put into graphics and
Yeah.
stuff. Harris-Harvard, which is
I take that.
a rather left
Better than,
poll.
Bucky and Tooth over here.
But it'll make you lose your mind if you see it. But
I do see it, so I am informed.
back to the economic blackout.
Yeah, I don't like it.
So look, my family owns a local restaurant.
I will go there.
Shop local. I get all that.
Yeah.
But isn't it shopping local if you go to the Outback in Lowell? No, and I'm being serious because
Yeah,
Target is on the list of businesses to be blacked out. Target's in Lowell. And I looked it up according to the City of Lowell website. You can look at lowellma.gov. They list the city's largest employers. Most of them are nonprofits, but I digress.
Don't start that.
But
Yeah.
Target is on there. They employ 220 people. Where do you think most of those people live?
Yeah.
Half of them in Lowell? 25% in Lowell? They're not coming from Cambridge to work at the Target in Lowell. There's 100 Targets in between. So they're employing local people. They're paying local taxes, right? The people coming to Target might frequent the Chuck E. Cheese in the mall, or isn't there still an Asian restaurant there?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
China Buffet.
Yeah, it's a China buffet, or maybe they're gonna go further down Plain Street and stop at, Jimmy's Pizza or wherever. Like, just this whole economic boycott thing. People were saying to me, "Why did you go to Disney with your kids in the summer of 2023?" Like, because Disney had gone woke. Like, okay, did I like some of the stuff Disney was advocating for? No, but I'm still going to take my kids to Disney.
Right.
So think about this stuff.
I think the majority of woke has good intentions, but when it went so far left,
they're just not very smart.
When we're giving people in jail corrective sexual surgeries and oh, come on, whatever you call it, I don't know what you call it. Choice.
Correcting nature.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what is what's his name? Bruce Jenner think. I can't think of his name.
Bruce Jenner's an avowed Trumper and Republican.
Yeah.
I was shocked when I saw that.
Well, no.
Imagine, although actually the Kardashians are a little.
He came out. I guess
righty
he came
too.
out. Well, we had his Adam's apple removed. There was a flag. That's a flag right there, dude. And so he comes out as, what's his name?
Caitlyn Jenner.
Caitlyn Jenner. Yeah, because he picked a K.
Yeah, everybody
Kim,
wants a K.
Kardashian,
Yep.
But yeah, I just don't think, I think it's got so far left that we're paying for that stuff as tax money. But I also have a problem with it, $8 million a day going to Elon Musk. He has 2 contracts with us.
Where's Elon getting $8
SpaceX.
million?
SpaceX.
Okay, yeah, you realize he's going to go save 2 astronauts that we can't get.
That's true.
Our
Actually, he's going up to get them because I think he can.
Hopefully he can.
Yeah, I don't know whether that's the right way.
But
yeah.
just think. This
But he has a contract.
The
He makes
new
money.
devil, the new public enemy number 1, who
Yeah.
somehow is running the country, even though Trump is a dictator. Those two don't jive.
No,
Either
he's
Trump
not a
is a dictator or Musk is running the country. You can't have both, lefties. So pick one.
No, I don't like Elon Musk.
Okay.
And I also know when those folders come out that are filed like this, those black folders, and he's signing with his
Trump's.
shiny.
That's a great. That's a great.
It is.
signature.
You got to admit.
That's a great signature.
It
That's
definitely,
a power signature.
and it's the same.
By the Donald.
It stays consistent.
Yeah, mine,
it's awesome.
mine can't.
It really is. I'm impressed
Donald
with
Trump is easier to sign than Fyodor Panagiotakis. So. He's
Middle
got an
name.
easier life
Middle
than
name.
you do. Stavros.
Of course.
But I don't put that in the.
Speaking of Stavros,
I don't put that in the city. He's doing good. Why don't you come down and say
how
hello?
is your father?
91 years old and at work every freaking morning. I
know.
drop the kids off to school and he's already been at the Athenian for an hour and a half, if not longer.
Yeah, love your father.
So, well, come say hello to him.
Not like that, though,
Just stop hitting on him, okay? You used to hit on him when my mother was with us. Now that my mother's gone, maybe
Your
maybe you
mother,
shouldn't come down.
your mother did me the greatest benefit ever. She was walking out with a tray of meatballs that she had made.
Oh, she gave you her homemade meatballs?
She said, wait. Went back, got me a plate, put 3 meatballs on it. The best meatballs honest to God, to this day, I've ever had.
She also shared her baklava recipe. Showed Nancy McGovern
How to make that. Yes, that's true. Nancy bragged about that. I'm like, I only got a meatball, but that's all right. She didn't offer me dessert.
All right. So you wondered how long I was going to keep you. I said 30 to 45 minutes max. All right, we're at 55.
Oh,
So I could
gonna
sit here.
edit?
I could sit here. No, I don't. I never edit. These go on as. That's why I
Okay.
told you. You could say shit. You can say whatever you want. But you're gonna come back.
Yes.
All right. We're gonna do this regularly on Fridays.
Okay, be a
with
try.
you.
That'd
All
be
right. Well,
awesome,
maybe
yeah.
we'll alternate you and the Pod Squad,
why not?
and we'll have some. We'll bring the fun back into Fridays.
Let's
So we're
try.
not talking about dogs with diarrhea and,
Newspaper problems.
and
Trees.
fudge shops that have been out of business for 72 years. One more time. Hosslong to die on the AM radio
Yeah.
airwaves? Wow, this is
You can't make it up.
can't believe it.
You can't believe
Can't
it.
believe it. Leslie Bodor,
My pleasure.
the popular part of TLC, Teddy, Leslie, and Chris in the morning. Thank you for being here.
Too kind.
It was a blast.
My
Do it
pleasure.
again in a couple of weeks.
All right, brother.
Thank all of you for joining us as well. Before I sign off,
The beach towel.
my gift from
We have to
Leslie.
explain. He looked like a bunny, and it's for Easter.
So till tomorrow, everybody stay safe and stay warm.
Thanks,
We'll
everyone.
catch you on the Friday edition of the Inside Lowell Daily Pulse. Be well.